Alright, what's up, guys? Dude and Grim. This is what I'm talking about when I say stacking elements next to each other on defense and how that presents opportunity. So I've got just gonna run a mono green team. Hopefully that'll give me the matches to show you what I'm talking about. Oh, so this guy's defense is screwed up because he has two of the same element next to each other. And what I mean by horizontal matches, so you see that I have a green match here where I could move this stone and do a vertical hit. But you see this like a horizontal attack would be matching them this way. And let's see if I can get a couple more green on the board to show you what I mean. That'll work. I didn't even target anybody. That works too. Okay, so this tile, I don't have a match 3 in green. If I had a match 3 in green to target either Cassandra or Aurelia, all 3 hits would be for 250% damage because it's the weakness of the blue. But because that he stacked 2 blues next to each other, now I can create a match 3 that's horizontal, and 2 out of the 3 stones are going to hit these 2 for 250% damage. Otherwise, if this person had, I don't know, a red person, so if Aurelia was switched with Garabeth, when I make this match 3, only one of the 3 stones would hit for 250% damage. The other one would hit Garabeth for 50% damage. It'd still give her the same amount of mana that she would normally get by being hit, but it would be a weak hit and she wouldn't lose much health. But when you stack them next to each other, it allows you to make these horizontal match 3s where 2 out of the 3 hits there were strong against element for 250% damage. So it's really easy to take advantage of people that stack elements next to each other because it opens up your horizontal attacks to be more attacks doing strong 250% damage. Let's see if I can actually just get through this fight. I would like to use the new girl, but she is gonna trigger Jane. Let's hit Jane a couple of times. We'll dispel her. And Cathbat can kill her most likely. Oh, there. Okay, I'm cool with that. But it's not a good idea to stack the same element next to each other. The thought process should be stacking the weakness next to the strength. So if I have a dark hero, I want to stack a light hero next to it because if they make a horizontal match to put one 250% damage, say on Elmist, the character next to it, it would do only 50% damage because it's the strength of that element. So if you separate the colors correctly, it's an advantage. So if you put, let's say the center of this fight was Aurelia, and then there was an Elmist on one side and an Agatha on the other, that's not efficient. Because if I use a horizontal light attack, it's going to do 100% damage to Aurelia because that's not a weakness or a strength. It's going to be base 100% damage. But if the weakness is next to it, one will hit for 250, one will hit for 50. See, I hope that's easier to understand when you're actually looking at the game. It's hard to explain in text. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and one of the things you were saying is making matches in territory that is unoccupied by an enemy that does produce 250% mana. So that's super beneficial. That's why you can get these slow heroes to pop off every turn. You just make matches that are away from Garabeth. And she's such a donkey. I hate this chick. Look at all the heals on this team, though. Oh, Garabeth and green. Cool. Trying to think if there's any other like advantages to seeing that you could see on defense. But like on Alliance War, I will focus out teams that make stupid decisions. Stupid decisions to me is stacking the same color next to each other or not stacking the weakness next to each other. If you're going to separate the strengths and weaknesses on the defense and spread them apart, then I get to pick you apart with 100% damage and 250% damage instead of 250% damage and 50% damage. So, just something to think about. I've gotten to the point now where it's much easier just to run mono teams with energizing and Naya weapons and just blast people on turn 2 and turn 3. Kind of feel like it's unfortunate that's the way the game's going, but like, why would you do something else at this point if you can pretty much guarantee a quick 2-3 turn victory? It feels kind of lame, but weapons are such a huge part. I refer to them as like Batman is your hero and your weapon is your Robin, and you work a whole lot better as Batman and Robin than you do separate. And a lot of times there are specific weapons that are so good that you'll just take a crap character just to hold it. I don't know if when you guys played Pirates, if you noticed that, but like the anti teams would take Harik just so he could hold a whip, and then there's teams out there that run dark teams. They have a Sammy just to hold the whip. Babulas on green teams a lot of times, or Hightow just to hold the whip. But yeah, and then one of the other questions was making attack teams, but that's kind of how I feel about attack teams, and that's where you're going to get to. So like, there comes a certain point where you're leveling up your heroes is awesome, but if you are falling behind on acquiring weapons, then you're still going to be able to win a lot, but you're creating long fights for yourself. You're creating like 15, 20 turns instead of 5 to 10 turns kind of thing on a lot of things. A lot of people say like, oh, the attack buff is too high, and I'm getting one-shotted at a certain point. Well, you're not doing enough damage, and that has a lot to do with you don't have synergy with your weapons and your heroes. You're kind of just crap shooting and throwing whatever weapons you got. You definitely have to try to get a whip, and you definitely have to try to get all the Naya weapons, and then some mana up weapons. It will make life easier all over the game.